Who's ready to find out how to get more engagement on your posts? So, I'm going to talk about generic engagement across all platforms, and then I'm going to talk specifically about some other platforms. So, are you ready? Get your pen and pencil ready so that you can write these things down. All right, number one, you actually have to ask a question. So many people say, well, I don't get engagement on my content. And I'm like, but did you ask a question? Sometimes people don't want to read through a book. So sometimes we have to be very direct and ask the question right flat out, right? I love this, especially when I'm talking about Facebook, because we can use the Facebook background for this. And by the way, that's another tip. If you're using Facebook and you use the Facebook background, you're going to get more engagement than using a graphic. But Facebook does this so well, and they prioritize that in the newsfeed, right? So it is a great way to grab people's attention. You can only put so much text, so they're going to read and get right to the point right away. And so really just ask the question. Don't make it complicated. If you make people have to think too much about it, they're probably going to struggle answering it, right? And if we're going to make it very personal, we want to create that in a poll or in a story question, not on our feed. So as long as it's like very easy question to answer and it's not very personal or private, then we can do it with a Facebook background. If we're doing it on Instagram, use black and white tends to get people's attention even more, even if we put it in like the Twitter looking look, right? So think about ways that we can do that. Also, make sure if you're in a video and you're asking for engagement, that you actually ask the question, and don't ask it just once, because people could come in at the beginning of the video, or they could come in the middle or the end and may not say the whole time, right? So give them the opportunity to answer the question. If you have the question, ask it several times in the video. All right, number two, know your audience, know what they're interested in, and don't always make the engagement question about your business. Make it fun. Sometimes we just want to ask about ice cream, right? And sometimes we just want to ask about your favorite store that you online shop at, right? We just want to like get to know our audience, because when we have those common denominators together, we can be more relatable with them and understand who is more like us and who is more like our ideal person. So make sure that you know your audience. Know your audience, because the questions will always be so much easier when we know them. All right. Create a post with multiple answers. So have you ever seen, and I think like health and fitness experts do this really well, and it says, if you could change anything in the next 3 months, what would you do, right? And so they'll have like a red heart emoji, lose 5 pounds, a blue heart emoji, have more energy, right? And a purple heart emoji. And you literally just drop the color of the emoji, so you don't actually have to call yourself out and say what you want to do in the next 3 months. You just drop the emoji, and it's very easy for people to answer that. So you get a lot of engagement with those types of posts. So take advantage of those. It doesn't have to be just health and fitness professionals. I've done it for marketing. Like when it comes to marketing your business, where do you struggle with most? Drop a red heart emoji if you struggle with social media. Drop a purple heart if you struggle with what to say. Drop a blue heart if you struggle with getting on video, blah, 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 right? You understand. And then I can serve and support those people depending on what hearts they answer in their responses. All right. The next thing is I see so many people wanting engagement, but they don't actually respond to the engagement post. So let's start responding, because when we respond, number one, it helps that piece of content, right? If we respond with a question and they answer it, it helps that piece of content even more. So keep the conversation going. Don't be superficial about it. Don't just keep it to keep it going, but keep it going because you're really interested in what that person has to say. Okay. So ask questions, respond to every comment. Don't let someone respond and not respond back to them. It's so important and it's so crucial. Test engagement posts on your personal profile. See how they do on your personal profile. If they do really well, they're probably going to do really well on a business profile or on an Instagram account or on Twitter, right? So try it on maybe your personal Facebook profile first, and then see how it does on other platforms. But test it there first, because almost always you'll see which ones are going to do really well and which ones aren't. Again, don't make it complicated. Let's make them easy responses. Ask for one word. Ask for them to drop an emoji. Ask for them to drop their favorite GIF, right? Let's make it super easy for them to respond how they feel about XYZ. Do you like chocolate or vanilla? ice cream the best? Make it super easy. If your question, again, is for an ideal audience that seems more personal, private, let's take it to the stories, right? Let's make a stories poll or a stories post where they can answer, and it goes directly to your messenger. This is a great opportunity for you to actually get to know that person even more inside of the messenger private messaging. So take advantage of that. Like if you're asking something that's more personal to someone and they're not going to answer it on a news feed because they don't know who's going to see it or they're embarrassed, right? So give them the opportunity to do that in stories instead. Create predictive text content. How many people love those ones that says, I went to the store today and you have to use the predictive text. It can be so much fun. It's great for engagement. And if that's your ideal audience would be interested in that, take advantage of that. Also gamify it. Sometimes we think it has to be so boring. What if you went to like Canva and found a crossword, or you found a word search, or you found bingo, or you did caption this? That is so vital to do. Have fun with your audience, gamify it, and make it fun. It doesn't always have to be boring, just a question and answer piece of content. And then the last thing, have fun. If you're not having fun with it, your audience isn't going to have fun with it too. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to laugh. And it's okay to be heard. So tell me your favorite tip in the comments that I just mentioned to you. Which one are you going to try today? Because we all want engagement. We all want people to comment on our content, but we have to start by asking the question. What is the question you're going to ask today? Drop it in the comment or in the chat so that I can serve and support you with any questions that you have.